friends, it's Vanessa Damien. I'm dialing it in from Flanneltown to talk about the stock market. So what is going on? In the last week, stocks in the US have dropped about 10% on average in value, and over the last 6 to 8 months they've dropped 20 to 30% depending on which stock index you're looking at. So we are officially in a bear market when the value of stocks has gone down that much. Let's talk about why and what's happening. So inflation has been a topic of conversation. We've all felt it trying to go to the grocery store, buy new stuff. Inflation causes investors to worry that companies are going to both have to sell things for more, but their cost of doing business is going to be more, including paying their workers more, so they're going to have less profits. So it's going to look less good for institutional investors in particular, which causes them to want to sell stocks. Among other reasons. So we are seeing that employment numbers, there's unemployment is low, which is generally really good for workers because it also puts workers in a position of being able to argue for better wages, which we like. And we also need when there is inflation, because if things cost more, we should all be getting paid more. Although for folks who aren't working and who are living on fixed income, whether that be Social Security, disability, pensions, things like that, it's a tough situation because those folks' income is not going up. So all of that is kind of happening. Institutional investors are getting spooked, and meanwhile the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates to try to slow down the spend in the economy. So it's more expensive to get a mortgage, which is slowing down some housing sales. We are seeing some kind of pull back in some pricing in some places. We will see what transpires with the housing market the next few months. We're also seeing the cost of borrowing money or paying for money that you borrowed if you had an adjustable rate payment, like with a credit card or a new car loan or a new student loan, is getting more expensive. So those are also rough impacts. Meanwhile, politically, we've also got midterm election coming up in the US that always makes things a bit more unstable. There's a war with Ukraine and Russia. There's kind of been endless wars for the last 40 or 50 years, but now this is a war involving white people, and Western countries are getting really squoze. In Europe, the price of energy is super high going into winter. In England, the new Conservative government just put through this new tax proposal, which would lower taxes for especially rich people and companies, which then caused the value of their pound to tank last week. So there's just a bunch of instability, a bunch of different things happening. If you think about life as a roller coaster, we're kind of in the part where it's careening downward. You all know that part ends, you hit bottom, and you keep going forward. So we are going to see how this plays out.